Hi guys. Oh, I think we can do a little bit lowery. You're losing my head. Bear with. Still losing my head. That's no good because we're doing a headscarf. So you need to see what's on my head. Still can't see it. I'm going to have to be like that. There's my headscarf. Then down. Let's see if I can put it up a little bit higher. Higher. We're winning. Bit better. Hi there. So let's see who we have joining us tonight. Hello, Claire. Hello, Fiona. Hi, Jane. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Kim. Guys, come on and say hi. Anyone who's joining us, do say hello. Always lovely to see new people. Monique, Jennifer, Tina, Rosie's here as well, guys. Nicole, Rachel. Have we got anybody here so far who is brand new? Hi, Lorianne. Hi, Patricia. Oh, Kate, I'm hoping it sorts my lockdown hair, trust me. Yeah, anybody who's new, who's not made it to a Sewalong yet, let us know. Got any newbies? We're hoping that at this time we might find some people can join us because it's the end of the day instead of the middle, certainly for us here in the UK. Me, hey Barbara, welcome to our live Sewalongs. Thanks for joining us tonight. Barbara, where are you joining us from? Oh, and Bernadette and Tammy. Oh, hey guys. Thanks. This is not handmade, this one, Miriam, but still. I didn't have a red one that I put on this morning and oh wow, from the USA, from Cincinnati. Oh, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so this one isn't handmade, but it's very much the style of the one that we're making, so that's okay for me wearing it. Oh, hello. Hi, Sherry in Kerala in India. I love Kerala. Spent a couple of weeks there with my family a few years ago. Hello, Carol in Canada. Oh, thank you, Fiona, for welcoming them. That's lovely. Nova Scotia. Wow, do you guys have snow there yet, Tammy? We are still in a kind of mild weirdness, aren't we, for our November weather? Hello, Helen. Are you cooking tonight as well, Helen? I remember last time we did a 6 o'clock, you were cooking for your daughter's birthday. I think I remember. Hi, Jackie. No, not yet, but it's chilly. It's chilly and getting ready. I see. Ah, wow. A vegetable soup. Wonderful. Oh, hi everybody. So who is enjoying a glass of wine, for those of you who are joining from the UK? Who's enjoying a glass of wine, or maybe a gin and tonic, or maybe another tipple of your choice after a long day? It's 6 o'clock, guys. You can be drinking. Me! Yay, Rosie! I know you've deserved it. Rosie, yay! Good idea. Yep, Claire, go and get a glass of wine before we start. I would love to be having a glass of wine, but I think that if I had a glass of wine right now, I might pass out in the middle of the Sewalong. Definitely tea. Well, Lorianne, I'm with you. I've got my flask of tea, so this is my new thing that I'm having everywhere with me, because it doesn't, the tea, I was constantly like half drinking cups of tea, and now I've basically, oh, Barbara's working. Oh, sorry, you can't drink. But now this keeps warm. But guys, don't feel bad for me, because I may not have alcohol, but I have mini brownie bites. I wish I could give you all one. What? I'm surviving on sugar today. Sugar and soup, actually. Fair dues, Barbara. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Too early. Too early for drinking. They are very good. They're from Co-op. Nice. And yeah, I've been having lots of meetings today and they've kept me going. So I feel like we could just sit on here and chat, but oh, you've got white chocolate, Vanessa. Yes, well done. Right. We are here though to make a headscarf, aren't we? So guys, I've got I've laid out my headscarves here to show you, and I thought what we would do is I'll make the headscarf, which is the one that you guys asked for, which is this one that I was wearing the other day. So we're going to make this, and I made it with the overlocker, but I also then want to talk you through how to make one if you don't have an overlocker, which is basically with pressing on the iron and also some hand stitching. And then I'm going to show you how I tie them, because I think that's part of it with a headscarf, is how do you tie them. And then if there's time, I'm going to show you my collection of headscarves, including one that was my grandma's that is now like falling apart, but it's very special to me. So we are going to, if you have an overlocker, you'll be able to do this. If you don't have an overlocker, hopefully you'll find it interesting to see how it's done, and maybe it will convince you to buy one. But if you don't have an overlocker and you don't want to buy one, I will also show you an option of what you could do without one. I need to get my sewing machine out for that. I don't know why I didn't, but anyway, I'll get that out in a sec. Right, so if we have an overlocker, what we can do is we can put it on a rolled hem setting. So rolled hem on my overlocker, I know it's going to be very difficult to show you, but I basically put the stitch length onto rolled hem, and then I switch it over here onto rolled hem. So it basically says RH. And then what you have to do is disengage your blade. So your instructions will tell you how to do that. But often what you need to do, I've already disengaged mine, so I'm just going to put that back. You basically push in, there's a lever here. Oh, can I show you? There's a lever here, and you push that in and you twist it. So I'm engaging mine there, and then I'm going to push it in and twist it down, and then disengaging it. So I'm getting rid of the blade, and then I'm moving this onto rolled hem. Okay, so that's the second thing that you need to do. Hi Anna, nice to see you joining us today. And then it's all set basically to do a rolled hem. Now what a rolled hem will do, it's different on different machines, but it basically does a very narrow stitch that's very neat and tidy all along the edge, and it's essentially meant to roll the fabric and then bind it. Didn't really roll so much on this one, but it was certainly neat enough that I feel like I can wear that. And that's with lazy white overlocking thread that I can't be bothered to change to match the yellow. Okay, so the size of the square that I need is 50 by 50. So it's perfect for something that a scrap that you have, and it's 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters, or 25, not 25 inches, what would that be? It's about 20 inches, isn't it, by 20 inches. So you want to use a fabric. This is actually quite a stable fabric. This is a silk, but it's a linen silk that I got from India. So it's a little bit too stable. So it does mean that these little bits, when you tie it, are like, boop, bing, like little antlers. But if you use something like a crepe that's a lot more softer, so we've got this lovely crepe that, Rosie, do we have this in stock? This is a beautiful crepe that we've made lots of samples of, and is, yeah, absolutely love it, and it's a really nice colour for me as well. So this one is yeah, really nice. It's got a nice weight to it, so this would work. But you could also use something like a chiffon, and this is a silk chiffon that I've got here as well. And you could also use a rayon as well. I've got one that I bought that's made of rayon. So it doesn't have to be silk, but it needs to have some drape to it. So then once you cut out your square, so that's 50 by 50 centimeters, we're basically just going to go all the way around it with rolled hem. It does crepe, you're right, it does grip in the hair, yeah, whereas silk, sometimes what you need to do is you need to put some Kirby grips or bobby pins to hold it in place. But yeah, we've got a bonny dress out of this, haven't we, Rosie? Yeah. I was going to wear it. Sorry, forgot to do that. Instead, I'm wearing an Alex shirt. So, still a sew over it, mate, but not one that matches this. So, I'm now running round the edge of this. So, what it does is I've got the right side up and it's curling, sort of bending the fabric over, and then it's binding over that, stitching over that. So I'm making sure that my edge is lined up with this edge here, and that means that about 2 or 3 millimeters gets flipped underneath. It's very hard for me to show. I'm going to basically go all the way around it, guys, and then I'll show you it. But this is, if you've got one of these overlockers, if you've got an overlocker, it's super quick to do, and it's a perfect thing to do to make with a scrap. And even if you're not a headscarf person, or you might not wear one out in the public, I use them also when I'm doing my makeup and also when I'm doing washing my face, all that sort of stuff. Maybe you're taking some time to do a little bit of a face mask. I've got a face mask that I'm going to use that my friend bought me for my birthday. I've been saving it in one of those little packets. That's my plan for this weekend, my little self-care treat for myself. Ooh. So when I get to the corners, guys, I'm pretty much going to the edge of the corner, lifting up and just then pivoting. And with an overlocker, you don't need to have the needle in. For that, it's not as important because actually sometimes you can't pivot properly then. Okay. Oops. We're almost done, guys. How crazy is that? We've almost made a headscarf. Okay, so there we go. It's basically done. If I hold that up, how gorgeous and neat is that? And actually it has rolled it, because this fabric is light enough. It rolled it, and it's quite hard for you to see, but this is rolled on the edge. And it looks lovely and neat. Really, really simple. I mean, that's just like the easiest thing. I think that's the quickest thing I've made on a sew-along, guys. But we know that lots of you don't have overlockers, so I'm going to put that one down. And I'm going to get my sewing machine out. Talk amongst yourselves, because I completely forgot that I was going to need this. Oh, look, and I've got bright yellow thread on from the sew-along yesterday. Gonna have to change that. I've got a black one somewhere though. And I'll show you, this is something that I haven't really tested before, but rather risque. I'm going to do it. Oh, hi Sal, you must be up early. I'm going to test it out with you guys. I think it works. It works in theory in my head. So I'm hoping this will work for you guys as well. So let me just quickly thread this up. Gosh, that nail varnish that I put on 2 nights ago is already chipping. We'll do it again. Have to do it again. Where did I put the thread? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's just pop that on there. Slot him on, diddly on. And oopsie-daisies. Speed. Guys, I am sewing it. I'm sewing here with one of my new candles from Lisa Comfort Home. I'm so scared though that I'm going to throw fabric over it, so I'm just going to move it out of the way. I've also got my flowers. Another Lisa Comfort Home bouquet that we're selling online, and they are just brightening my day all the time. I'm absolutely loving them. Just love looking over at them. Just really cheer me up, and I love the fact that I know they're not going to die. Everlasting flowers. Right, so I've cut out my square already. So this is a silk chiffon which has got embroidered spots on it. I've been waiting, I don't know what I was planning on making this for, but I think I thought, oh, I'll make a pussy bow blouse out of it, and I basically haven't made anything. So anyway, it's now, I've cut a length off it and made this. So what we're going to do is stitch a single row of stitching all the way down the edge, but very close to the edge, like 2 or 3 millimeters. Now you're probably going to find that if you go too close to the edge on something like this, that it might get caught in the machine, but I'm going to try. Please work. Yeah, so far so good, guys. So I'm about 2 or 3 millimeters from that raw edge with a straight stitch. I'm having to concentrate, so I have no idea what the great chat is going on up there. But those of you who are new, join in the chat, please do. I know it feels strange. You probably think, well, I don't know what to say. Just say hey and where you're from, or what you're sewing, or what you're eating, or what your weather's like. Anything goes. Okay. So we now have this, okay, like a single row of stitching through right on the edge. Right. Okay. So now I can put this down. And I'm going to get my iron up. Oh no. Oh gosh. Basically put all the machines on top of each other. And the leads. It's a health and safety nightmare down there. And so what that stitch should have done is created something to hold onto, something to help us roll the hem. So you basically want to roll the hem or create what we call a pin hem, which is a really, really narrow hem. So, and I'm really annoyed that I can't show you up close, but what I'm doing is I'm folding it onto the wrong side here, using that stitch line as the fold line. So that stitch line is helping me keep some stability to this seam edge so that I can turn it. So I'm going down once, and then I'm going to roll it, almost rolling it a second time. And then I'm going to steam iron it with the steam iron it. So we're going to have to do this in little sections, and you can't really pin it because it's just so fine. If you had anything that was like silk pins, you probably could pin that but I think at this stage when we're ironing, you probably just need no pins. So one turn with the fold on, fold line being the first turn is the stitch line that we just did, and then that stitch line will allow you to basically grip the edge and give it the edge stability so that you can fold it over. Because if you didn't have that in there, it would basically just be really tricky to fold such a narrow hem. If anyone wanted to be brave enough to sew this as a on the machine, what you could do is and what I used to see in couture is that people would make the first turn and they'd sew over tissue paper. So they'd turn the fabric and sew with tissue paper to help them turn it, and then once they'd stitched it, they'd pull the tissue paper away. That's especially good to do with something like silk chiffon that's very tricky to it's, you know, it's like slippery, so fluid. Okay, I'm almost at the end, guys, and then I'm going to show you on black fabric, that's good, with black thread, how to hand stitch it. So once you've done this part of it, it's going to just be, once you've gone all the way around, it is going to be just a hand stitching jobby. But what I would do is press one side, hand stitch that one side, then press the next side, and do it in stages. Because that also means it will hold the ironing better, because sometimes if you press everything, especially if it's not silk, it's not going to hold it. But it will hold it, and then you can sew it, and then it will also allow you to then, once that's sewn, to get a neater corner, because you can then tuck that corner into the next seam, and the next seam, and the next seam. So let's have a look at what that looks like now, if I hold that up. So that is my very narrow hem. You see that there? So it's basically been turned once, and on that top fold line there is the stitch that we did, and then turned a second time. Okay, so then we're going to get a needle and thread, and we're going to slip stitch it closed. So slip stitch, oh bless you, thank you Fiona. Slip stitch is a really useful stitch that will help you, Oh, I've got a big needle there. I hope that's maybe a bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. But it will help you, in fact, you know what, I'm going to use that thread because you'll see what I'm doing. It helps you attach lining to things, or it can help you hem things. It's like a little invisible stitch. This is when I'm going to wish that I had my GoPro overhead so that you guys could see in more detail what I'm doing. So, there we go. There we go. And, okay. So, I'm left-handed, so I go this direction when I sew. I'm not feeling that I need to put any, that needle is going to be too big. Sorry, the needle's too big. The reason why I know the needle's too big is I need to be able to collect just a single 1 or 2 strands of the fabric, and if it's a fine fabric, a big thick needle end is not going to work. Annoying, because this has got such a small needle. It's such a small needle, I don't know I'm going to be able to thread this. Come on! No, no. Okay, let's see if we've got something in between. Yeah, where am I? I don't know where my glasses are. Where I've put them. My eyesight is, well, they're tired now, my eyes, but my eyesight is not bad. It's just that my eyes strain too much to see. So if I don't wear my glasses throughout the day, by the end of the day, they're quite tired. I had got my glasses on today, but for whatever reason, I've put them somewhere. I think I've got one that's easier though, guys. It's just the pressure of performance. It's getting to the needle in me. The tongue needs to come out. There we go. Done it. Okay, let's see how close I can get. I think I'm going to climb onto the table, guys. Oh yeah. And see if I can hold this up a bit more closely for you. It's extreme sewing up close. So I've lost my edge now. This is so funny. Feels like I'm closer to you guys, even though you're absolutely miles away. It feels like I'm closer. So, okay, there I've got that bit there. So what I'm going to do, now let's all remember this is obviously the wrong colour thread, but I'm coming in and I'm getting a tiny little amount of thread on the outside piece, and then I'm coming up and catching the fold here, yeah, and then I'm going to move along and just catch a tiny bit. Now can you see how tiny that bit is there? Tiny, tiny. It's about 2 strands worth of the fabric. And I'm moving along, and then I'm going to come up to the folded edge and come up from underneath the folded edge. And then move along, tiny, tiny bit. I mean, even when I used to teach this in a physical class in London, it would be very hard to show people in groups. So I'm trying to teach 127 people at the moment how to do this. It's quite hard, okay? So you just basically do that all the way along. It's very hard for me to show you guys, I'm sorry. But if you look up slip stitching, Rosie, is there a slip stitch tutorial on our stitch school? Because if not, you could probably find one on YouTube and you can see how to properly slip stitch. But it's basically just really delicate. So on the fabric side, which is going to show from the outside, you take a couple of strands, and then you move along, you come up and get the folded inside edge of the hem. Then you move along, you take a tiny strand of the fabric, then you move along your folded edge, and you just go along like that. Really nice, small, tiny stitches that are about no more than about 5 millimeters apart. Okay. That's how you do it by hand. So, let's have a look now at how to tie them, because that's really important. So I'll take this one off. Any tips for cutting slippery fabric? I'm going to let Rosie answer that one. Basically, pins or really sharp scissors. and try not to overhandle it, but I'll let Rosie answer it. Oh look, we've got a link up there to it, to our stitch school. So this is the one that we've just made together, guys. So the first thing I do is I fold it in half like that, and then, let me turn this down, I'll just get a little bit more distance for you. Okay, so turn it down like that, then I take the corner, point there, and I bring that in like that to the folded edge. Then I fold again, then I fold again, and then I fold again. And then, tucking it under, we double knot that. Oh goodness. I feel like I'm taking my hair with me. And then you pull these a bit and faff around with them. You then have a cute little headband. I'm pulling those out because I think that really looks pretty. Like that, just to see a bit more of it. There we go, guys, that's so simple. Let me show you my other ones in my collection. So firstly, I wanted to show you the ones that we did this earlier, guys. So earlier on Stitch School, I don't know if Rosie, if there's any way you can link to it, but earlier on Stitch School, back in lockdown #1, we did this type. So it's got elastic in it, and it's pleated, and it's like a big piece like that, but when it's on, it goes like that. And I've done another one. I did another one that matches a Sylvia robe that I've got, so I can be matchy-matchy. So that's the same concept there. So yeah, we've done that. You can have a look on the playlist of sew-alongs and you'll be able to make this one as well, but a bit more involved, this one. And I think on that one, I do attempt to do a stitched pin hem. Yeah, you can see that there. Okay, this headband is 50 centimetres by 50 centimetres. Yep, Lorianne, I started doing them in March. I'm pretty sure it was March. So, such a long time ago. They are a good gift. I really do think they are. And great if you've got some expensive silk and you just don't, think there's some lovely in silk. So those are the handmade ones. This is the one that I was wearing, guys. This is from Anthropology. But yeah, this is silk. It's lovely, isn't it? And that has got a pin hem, a stitched pin hem. So what they've done on this one is they did that first row of stitching that I did on the black one on the machine. Then they've used that to create their second row, stitched it down, and then they've turned it again and stitched it down again. So you basically, each row, each time you kind of turn a fabric, you stitch, and that helps keep its stability so you can keep a very narrow hem. This is my grandma's. This is like, I don't know, I never saw her wear it, but it was found in her things, and I was like, please can I have it? And it's got so many holes in it now. It's silk chiffon. It's literally, look, there's even holes there, but it's got a pin hem and it's completely lasting, and it's beautiful. I still wear it today. It's like super soft, lovely chiffon. Anyway, it no longer smells of my grandma. She passed away when I was about 21, so I'm now 38, so yeah, quite a while ago, but I still think it's very special. I saw Poppy once walking around with it in her mouth. I was like, absolutely no way, Poppy. Got very cross. And another one that I got from, this is made out of viscose, guys, actually, and I think this is quite clever. So this is essentially, it's a bit like a tie. If you imagine like a tie belt that you would make to go around a dress or something, and it's been like a tie belt. So if you fit a big long strip, fold it in half, right sides together, stitch along and up one of the shorter ends, then turn it through, press it flat, and then you close up one end, and then just stitched onto that is this little bit of like covered elastic casing, which is similar to the way that this one has been created. but it's just a narrower one. And then I'm going to have to take this off to show you how it works, because I think it's a really easy way of, I think it'd be a really easy thing to kind of replicate. So put it on like, doesn't help that I'm wearing hoop earrings, does it, guys? Then you take the, so they're basically, you could, I guess, you could leave these ties, well, they're ridiculously long, you couldn't leave them like that, could you? But you could, if you wanted to, you could just tie a bow and then leave them hanging down. But how it's meant to work is you cross them over underneath, and then you bring them up, and you tie it over in a bow over the band. Okay, I realise I've just like not done that in the most amazing way, but it's really cute and it's a bit more of a statement. So if anyone wants to make a bit more of a statement, then a little bit more vintage, then this is a way. It's but yeah, I really like this too. And another one that I've got here that I got, I think, from Accessorize, I can't quite remember, is exactly the same. You could tie it in your ponytail, yeah, absolutely. So this is exactly the same concept of what we were doing earlier, but this has been pleated. And if you remember, way back in the summer, I went to a pleaters. So you could get your scarf pleated, or you could even buy pleated chiffon. And I think that looks really pretty as a neck scarf. And what I do with that is I tie it like that, and I leave it dangling down here. Anyway, guys, headscarves galore. I feel like I've become a bit of a headscarf obsessive, but I am a massive fan of them, and I think that, oh, I'm glad you like the pleating process. I love that as well. I do think they're great, and they're great for scraps, and I get asked a lot. Look, there's that cute one we made. It's just so good, isn't it? I know really the quickest way is for the overlocker, and I'm sorry for those of you that don't have one, but you could, the other option you could try actually, which it won't look quite as neat, but you could do a very narrow zigzag right on the edge, and it'll probably wrap it up. And what you could do as well is you could reduce the stitch length. So if you reduce the stitch length to like 1.5 and then kept it really narrow, then you could basically, yeah, you might get that effect. But yeah, overlockers and serges for Christmas, definitely. Right guys, that's it for tonight. Really simple little make for you all, but hopefully it was still interesting and it gave you some ideas of what to do with scraps. Oh yeah, that's true actually. Rosie suggesting the rolled hem foot. If you've got that for your machine, that's worth a try as well. I've never used one of those, so I'm not so sure if it would, but if it would work, but how it would look. But yeah, by all means, guys, have a look at that. Have a look online at rolled hems. But now you know that all there is to it is a simple square. So many things that you could do, guys, with headscarves. And hopefully this one has also inspired you to do a different type. So that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for chatting to one another. Thanks for welcoming each other and all the new people. I'm back next week. Rosie, I'm not back on Wednesday, am I? No, on Wednesday it's a Poppy and Jazz pattern with Becca. Oh, I won't see you before that, guys. So yeah, welcome Becca into the sew-alongs. I'm sure she'll be fabulous. And then on Thursday and Friday, I'll be making the newest pattern, and those of you in the PDF club will know what it is. I think I'm going to wear them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge for it. Have lovely weekends, guys. See you next week. Bye.